quarantine rules and all these things, and tennis being so international, it's not like we can just stay in a bubble for 2 months. It's like we're traveling to different countries, sometimes different continents every week. So
what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Legendz Podcast. I'm your host, Nora, and today I'm chatting with yet another legend. She's a professional tennis player, an insanely talented singer-songwriter, and fellow Canadian. Welcome, Zhao.
Oh, thank you, Nora. That was an amazing introduction. I'll try to live up to
Do I sense a sarcasm in your voice?
No.
Well, thank you, Nora.
I'll try to live up to it.
So what is new? I kind of know what's new. We saw each other last weekend.
Yeah.
We did a little photo shoot.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah, you dragged me out in the snow. That was fun.
Yeah, I know. We got some good pictures out of it, though.
It actually wasn't that cold. I was just being dramatic, but
Right. It was more the snow, like sort of.
Yeah, it was just weird because we didn't plan on any snow happening, and then all of a sudden, on the day, and I was wondering, like, are you gonna cancel the shoot or not? And then you're like, oh my god, this is such a great aesthetic. I was like, okay, so we're doing it. Have you checked out the photos?
I have. Yeah, they look really amazing. For those of you, obviously, that don't know, I'm a singer-songwriter, and Nora's been helping me take awesome shots for my album covers and stuff. So
I didn't really intro that well, did I?
No, it's okay. It's just for context. No, they're super beautiful. I mean, the lighting, like the white brightness and the snow.
We really got lucky with the light.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely. When can we hear something coming out? Anything new?
Well, there's a couple of songs that are in sort of like the last stages of production. So hopefully very soon they'll get mastered and then go through like the release process, which usually takes like a couple of weeks. But I'm trying to plan on like when I want to release it, because right now it's obviously like the holidays and I guess a lot of the music that's coming out is like festive or more of that vibe. So
right.
it'll probably be like end of this year or beginning of next. So
that's crazy. I'll get a little more into the music stuff later, but first let's chat about the fact that you're a pro tennis player.
Let's do it. Yeah.
One of the main topics I wanted to talk about was you went to Stanford and played college tennis in the NCAA. I know that a lot of tennis players go straight into pro from juniors. So what influenced you to go into college and like go to one of the world's best, schools?
Yeah, I mean, first off, it was an incredible experience, and like especially at the time, I think I was a top 10 junior in the world, and all of my peers were turning professional, signing contracts. That was sort of like the commonly taken path, I guess. And at the time, I just really thought education was really important for me, and this opportunity to really push myself and immerse myself in an environment that I knew was going to challenge me, not just as an athlete, but also as a person and a student. At that stage in my life, I felt like was really important for me, and really a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I viewed it that way, and it was always in my mind that I was going to go to college first and then turn pro afterwards. And I think you're starting to see some trends of that happening too, even though it's still rare. Because tennis is so, you have to specialize at such a young age that a lot of people sort of move away from focusing on school really young, probably in their high school years. So it's really hard to maintain that level of academic rigor, I guess. But for me, it was really important. So it was a personal choice, and I can't recommend it to everybody, but for me, it was definitely the right choice.
It almost seems taboo for tennis to go to college. Like a very small percentage go. So why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is the culture. Just if that's the way things have always been, then people just have a tendency to think that that's the right way.
Because in all other sports, like NCAA basketball, you have
football.
Baseball, football, all these other college sports, and they're huge as college sports around the world. Like you watch them on TV just as is. Mm-hmm. So I always found it super interesting that tennis is almost boycotted in terms of going to college, which I found very, I mean, to each their own. I was just curious because I think you've done super well on both fronts, so it can be done.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a great question, because at the time when I made my decision, it was not met with the best reception, I guess. Like a lot of people thought I should use my time to turn pro right away. And, because obviously as an athlete, you have a finite lifespan for how long your career can be. And yeah, so everyone will have their own opinions, but at the end of the day, it's just the culture, I think. It's such an individual sport. And, with those other big league sports, there's teams that can draft you, and there's sort of more of a system in place for people to go to college. Whereas for an individual sport like tennis, it's more to each their own. So people don't feel the same sense of security when they choose to go to college.
What was your experience like? I mean, you had a pretty good record. I think it was 76-16. I did my research.
You're impressed.
You led your team to win the NCAA championship.
Yeah. My experience was amazing. And I think part of why I chose Stanford as well was because it was such a well-rounded experience. I wasn't going there for the athletics, which, it's number one in the country, has been for 30 years. And so that in itself was already an amazing part of the package. But also I tried to immerse myself in academics and social life, doing all these different things I never had a chance to do inside this sort of tennis bubble that I've been living in. And yeah, so I felt like I was, very fulfilled during those years, and I got to try a lot of different things and learn so much. So yeah, and after my junior year, after we won NCAA's, kind of just thought, I had achieved what I wanted to on the college front, and that maybe it was time to move to the professional circuit. And that's when I made the switch.
Do you have any memorable moments from playing NCAA? Anything that struck you that was very different? Yeah,
well, I mean, the biggest difference is that you're playing for a team, I guess, and so that sort of just your whole motivation, your whole reason for being there is slightly different than when you're out there by yourself. And as an individual athlete, I never experienced that kind of camaraderie and all of these kinds of emotions that you feel when you're playing for a team. And so when we finally won the championship in my junior year, it just felt like 3 years of, working with this team together to achieve this common goal. And it was unlike anything I'd ever felt on the tennis court. So that was really special. And yeah, I think it's a big part of college sports. So
yeah.
Nice.
And what about, so you went pro, was it 2016, 17?
End of 2016, yeah.
You also won doubles in the Pan Am Games with our good friend, Gabriela Dabrowski.
With Gabby, yes. She's a legend. She, for real.
Yeah, no, she is. She doesn't think so, though. I was like, can you come on? She's like, I'm not a legend. I'm like,
oh my God, if I can come on, she can come on. Come on.
We're all legends. If I label you a legend, you're a legend. Boom, done.
No, Gabby is obviously a close personal friend of both of ours, and I've been lucky enough to get to play with her on several occasions for Fed Cup, for Pan Am Games, and always learn a lot from her, and it's obviously amazing to play with one of the best in the world. So that's all.
Such an official answer. I love it.
No, it is.
Gabby is our.
Dude, no, totally. So
it is.
Yeah, that was really special too. Winning Pan Ams with her.
What was Pan Am's like? I remember my mom. I was living in, at the time I just moved to London from France, and my mom actually went to the game. To the match by herself, and she's like, I cheered on Gabby and Carol.
The gold medal match.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm so proud of them. Tell them I'm proud. I'm like, I don't know if I don't think I'd met you at that time, or maybe just in passing. So I was like, I'll just tell Gabby, congrats.
Oh, that's so nice of her. Thank you.
But yeah. So anytime I mention you, she's like, I was at the Pan Am Games. I was like, I know, Mom. She's a huge tennis fanatic. She loves tennis.
No, that was a really cool experience also because, Pan Am Games is like the step down from the Olympics, and a lot of people, like casual sports fans, will come to watch. Like people that normally wouldn't come to watch us would come to watch, and we felt that, in the stadium, the energy was amazing, and that was a very unique experience. That that
nice. What's your favorite kind of Fed Cup match to date?
Favorite Fed Cup match. I haven't played that many. I've been on a few teams, but I've played maybe like 3 or 4 matches. So I guess I'll just pick the only one that I've won. Fair enough. Which was also with Gabby, actually, in Romania, and it was a dead doubles rubber, which means the tie had already been decided, but we played the match. But the Romanian fans were so awesome and passionate, and all like 10,000 of them stayed around for this dead doubles rubber, and it was a great atmosphere. So that would probably be my favorite. Not too many to pick from yet, but hopefully more in the future.
There will be, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between, from when you finish college to now when you're in the pros?
Yeah. Obviously you don't have that sort of the team behind you or teammates or people supporting you. But like as a tennis player, obviously I've spent more time, in this sort of individual mode than I had, in a team mode. So this is what I'm more used to, I guess. But when you turn pro, obviously like the pressures become a little bit different because it's your full-time job, and basically everything you do revolves around winning or trying to win. So it's tough sometimes to keep it enjoyable, to keep it light, to keep it something that you're still passionate about. But yeah, I think it's what I want to do, and so that carries me through.
With all these lockdowns and everything going on in the world, so obviously the schedule has been crazy different.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next year looking like for you, and how's training been in the past year for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough, to be honest. The timing has been a little bit tricky for me because I was coming out of an injury this year into COVID. I was coming out of a long-term injury where I was on and off for about 1.5 years, and was really looking for this year to be the year to come back and do all that. But obviously COVID hit, and that there was a huge lack of opportunities for players who weren't, ranked in the top 100 to compete. And so, obviously with changing lockdown rules and quarantine rules and all these things, and tennis being so international, it's not like we can just stay in a bubble for 2 months. It's like we're traveling to different countries, sometimes different continents every week. So it's very, very hard to plan. And right now, just kind of waiting for somewhat of a official schedule to come out so that we can.
Yeah, weren't you like you were given a schedule? You guys were given a schedule for December, and now it's pushed to January.
Yeah. I mean, I've entered tournaments that have been canceled. I've entered tournaments that I've ended up not getting into that I probably normally would be getting into because, there's only one tournament now versus before there would be, a handful at the same time. And so now, it's just really tough time to try to come back from an injury, I guess. Would be my summary of that.
Yeah. Like, are they doing anything to help with rankings? I don't know. I haven't really read lately, but
no. I mean, everybody's kind of just.
Is it staying the same as per usual, or like because it's tough to get spots in when there's such little, like there's such a small amount of tournaments on the roster.
Yeah, it's really tough, especially for someone like me where I was injured and my ranking dropped, obviously. And now to get back, it's kind of like extra hard because I'm not getting into many tournaments that I want to be getting into. And so the opportunities are just few and far in between. We're just kind of waiting for more clarity and more certainty with the schedule before moving forward. Because, it's also hard to plan with the quarantine 2 weeks in Canada. Like, like you want to make the most productive schedule, but it's just a little bit unclear right now for everybody.
Yeah, it's insane.
So,
And then of course also for like financially, it's crazy for like I've mentioned on a few other podcasts, if you guys aren't, winning, you're also not making money. It's not like other sports where you sign contracts and you make a certain salary a year. It's 10 times more difficult, and you're making your own schedules, like you said. So I don't know. It's crazy that I hope things clear up soon.
Yeah. Because we don't have the security of contracts or salaries, or it's all, if you win you get paid, and if you don't win you don't get paid. It's very sort of a real situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I think Gabby has also been spearheading sort of these initiatives to try to give the players more of a voice and give us more leverage when it comes to how much prize money we're getting from tournaments and stuff like that, because right now it's a little bit disproportionate. So it's a cool thing she's doing. Any
memories? Do you have any like memories that have stuck with you?
Yeah. I mean, there's tons, but tennis is such a like always on to the next thing, that you almost like are always looking to, achieve the next thing or get to the next ranking or whatever, that you sometimes forget to look back or live in the moment, because the turnover rate is just so high.
Now you've got this platform, so now I'm making you go back.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, obviously in college, like that was really special to win it for Stanford. I think that was probably one of the highlights of my career. Obviously winning bigger titles individually in the pros have been a great moment, but honestly it's kind of tough, because everyone talks about the winning moment, right? Like everyone's like, oh, like the moment you win must be the best, but sometimes it's not really, because you don't experience what you thought you would, that sort of emphatic whatever you're looking for, and more now I've just tried to see the journey itself as a reward. I know that's so cliche, but it's really hard to just have the result as like the only thing you're ever going for, and like getting better in the process of just like overcoming things like that, like the small victories that maybe people don't see behind the scenes. I feel like that's what should be valued more than any individual like win or loss on that day. I feel like
do you have an example of a small victory?
Yeah, many. I mean, just even going through my injury, doing like 6-7 rounds of rehab on it, and each one of them taking months at a time, and all of them failing. And at that time, I think people obviously don't see that when you're not in action, but just having the resolve to like, and perseverance to like come back from that each time, and continue being motivated and continue putting in the work, even though you're not getting anything back.
Mentally, it must be taxing too, because
exactly.
It's so unpredictable. You don't know how long you're going to be out, and when that injury hits you, it's almost like
exactly.
You have to also, to even get over the injury, you have to stay positive. And
exactly.
It's just hard.
Yeah. So I think every time we get over that, it's definitely a victory in itself, because it's easier said than done a lot of times. So
another thing you've done behind the scenes is making music.
Yeah.
Did that start within tennis, or how did you start doing that?
Well, I actually started playing piano at the same time that I started playing tennis when I was younger. I was around like 5 years old. And I did it for about like 10 years.
She's a legend. She's like,
no. No, I mean,
you were a young prodigy genius child.
No, I was more of a stereotypical Asian kid than a legend. But yeah, like I did it till I was 15, until I couldn't, keep up with it with tennis, obviously. But like after a couple of years of not doing it, and then going to college and starting to like write songs and falling in love with music again in another way, I I realize that it's still a huge part of my life, and something that I get a lot of joy out of. So yeah, it's something that I've been trying to do more intentionally these days.
Dude, she is being so modest right now. She is so talented, like extremely. I went to one of your concerts. I took photos. I was like, holy shit. Your voice is insane, and you also play guitar too. But were you playing that? Yeah, you did play, I think, one song with guitar as well, but I don't know. But anyways, I was just like, whoa, this is a multi-talented human.
No, it's just a nice outlet for me to, you know, spill my creative juices into, because I feel like I am sort of like a multi-dimensional person, I guess. I can be like very athletic and whatever, but then I can also sit on a couch for a week and not talk to anybody and just write songs, you know.
I can do the same, just minus the writing songs part.
No, I'm sure you like take photos, edit photos. I mean, your photos are amazing, your videos, everything. So it's kind of no. It's kind of a similar process, right?
Kidding. Yeah, it is.
Similar process. So yeah, that's kind of my thing, I guess. Like I kind of go from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, similar. But what led you? Because I know Gabs told me like you guys would even just. You would play guitar and you guys would sing just for fun when you hung out a few times and all that. So I know you've done it for fun before. It was something you were passionate about. But when did you? Because now you're in the recording studio.
Yeah.
When did you kind of make that transition of like, I'm gonna actually take this seriously and, you know, make some professional tracks?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you said, I always love to perform and sing for whoever will have me. And that included like Gabby and all this, like all my friends. She has a great voice, by the way, but she doesn't like to admit it. But yeah, like recently I've just sort of started believing. Sorry, someone's messaging me. I can't.
Okay, you're just so popular. So
no. Someone. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So more recently, I've started to believe in my songwriting like a lot more, and you know, really trusting that, you know, the quality of the music is high, and something that I want to share with other people, because it was like, I think writing music, the biggest thing is that you want other people to feel what you're feeling, and to sort of experience those joint emotions together. I feel like that's the most powerful thing about music. So for me, yeah, just this year, after learning about how to professionally record and produce and sort of becoming more of an quote unquote artist, it's really been a cool experience. And yeah, and hopefully the songs get released soon, and people like them, or people listen to them.
They will, for sure.
Yeah. But it's just a cool thing for me to be able to be like, yeah, this is a work, like a piece of work that I'm very proud of, and that I can show other people. So that was kind of my thought process behind that.
Do you have any like musical influences?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think on these most recent records, Damien Rice was a big influence. I'm not sure a lot of people know him. An Irish songwriter. He's great songs. And then more like bands like Coldplay, Lana Del Rey, I love. Even just like pop writers like Taylor Swift. I think she's a great songwriter. And yeah, no, I mean, I try to pull like even from Asian music, like Chinese pop, that I listened to when I was like really, really young, because that's what my mom used to listen to. And that also makes its way into some of the elements that you end up choosing, or some of the, you know, chords or melodies. So yeah, I can be influenced by everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well-rounded, talented, multi-talented legend here. No. All right. Well, I guess I've taken up a lot of your time now.
Oh, a whole 31 minutes, Nora. How dare you?
Well, you're looking at the clock. I didn't even say 31 minutes.
No, I mean, the clock is right there. Oh my God.
You have a timer on me, or?
No, Nora, you know I have all the time in the day for you. So what have you been doing like in quarantine that's not been just like, no, seriously, because I think a lot of people are dealing with this right now, and I know I am, like, mentally, mental health wise, it's just been really tough. Like,
No, yeah, it has. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and I wrote, like, I was one of my friends, and I was writing to him, and I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely not built for the 9 to 5 life. Because my job usually entails, first of all, I worked freelance for years, and so I'm very used to like new projects every week and constantly on the go, so taking photos, video, and then editing, but you only see, like, here and there, so I'm constantly all over the place basically. But now lately, because of lockdown and restrictions, I've been just editing a lot of stuff, which he was like, yeah, but you should be, a lot of my friends aren't, they've lost their jobs. Just be grateful you have a job. I was like, that didn't come out right. I am 150% grateful that I have a job and I have work, because I have a lot of friends who are without work right now, and they're struggling. But yeah, so that's one of the things where I'm just, for me, I'm so grateful I have work, but I just wish we kind of go back to whatever the new normal is going to be. Just like, I want to go to live, sports events and take photos or film documentaries and just do all the stuff I was doing before. And that's kind of where I'm at. But otherwise, I mean, knock on wood, I'm healthy. And all my family and friends are healthy, so I'm happy about that. And then I guess we'll see where the rest will take us. But yeah, right. How are you? How have you been?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. We touched on it a bit earlier about just not having any sort of certainty about what's happening with the plan and everything. So that sometimes the day-to-day training can kind of start bogging you down when you don't have a clear goal ahead of you, because we're so used to always training for the next thing, always trying to do the next thing, and now it's just,
and also measuring how much you train, and for like you're saying, like, for the next tournament, if the next tournament's next week, then exactly. Sometimes it's more intense, sometimes it's less intense when you're coming closer to the event. So
like, training load wise, we've done like peaks and valleys, and trying to prime me for an event that never happened, and like all of these kinds of things, which starts to get frustrating after a while, because you're kind of just pushing yourself every day to the max, but you're just like, what for? Obviously it's for something, but not having.
But like, exactly like what I was saying is, like, at moments you think like, what is this for, or like, why? We're like, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and then it almost loses its value, or in the moment when you're thinking, but it doesn't actually, because the next thing will come, but it's hard mentally.
Time,
in the meantime.
Yeah, for sure. So just, I mean, I guess checking in on yourself a lot too during this time is really key, and just making sure that, because, we're all like aspirational people. We always try to do our best, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we're, taking care of ourselves and stuff like that. It's really interesting to see what people have been doing, because it's tough. It's illegal for me to like even come see you right now, I think, right? So it's like tough, like, mentally on everybody.
Yeah, no, it's like, I haven't been hanging out with friends really much. Like, I've been FaceTiming and stuff like that, but like,
it's not the same.
So it's hard to have a social life.
Yeah. I feel like, especially if you're an extrovert, it would be extra tough.
Yeah. I'm a weird one. I'm somewhere in between. I'm like with my an
ambivert. I don't know. I've heard
is that what it is? Is there a word for that?
I've heard it, and I'm like, that makes sense. Like you're an extrovert.
What are you?
I'm definitely an ambivert. Well, like what I was saying, like, I can see people for 7 days straight, or I can just not talk to anybody for 7 days straight.
Same. So, it's weird. Like, I'm like I feel like I've become a hermit, and I'm completely fine with it. But then when I start like chatting with people, it's just, I'm like, I should probably, I miss socializing a little bit. But Anyways, I'm sensing the awkward silence coming from you, so now I'm gonna.
No. Oh my god. Because I have this thing where I feel like I talk too much and I need to be a better listener. So I'm trying to do that.
Hello. That's literally me. I should be the one.
No, I feel like
I'm listening more, but
yeah.
But I'm also a person who goes off on like 5 tangents, and then people are just sitting there like deadpan, like, okay. Should we stop talking now or what? Like I can see you looking at the clock. You're like 41 minutes.
Okay, no, dude, are you serious? Oh my God.
Jokes. All right, where can people find you on your socials?
They can find me at Carol Zhao 95. You can do the pop tag or whatever.
Yeah, I'll keep it all in the description box below.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram. You're on Twitter. Yes. You're on any other platforms? Spotify. Oh, yeah. Guys, go listen to her music. Go on Spotify. Listen to some Zhao magic.
Thank you. More to come.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new singles, and then you'll see also the album work we've done together. That should be out soon. I don't know when, but whenever it's out.
Very soon, yeah.
I'll put that there too.
Cool.
I mean, don't forget to like and subscribe. Carol, not you, but I mean, yeah, you too.
No, I will like and subscribe, of course.
The people. We need some new people as well.
Does it go on YouTube?
This is going on. Oh yeah, that's a new thing.
Okay.
That was a great. You gave me like a little alley-oop there because I completely keep forgetting to mention it. But perfect. We're officially now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So you can listen, you can watch, you can enjoy the legendary magic that is Carol.
Oh, and Nora, of course.
Yeah, of course. Everyone wants to listen to me, but
that's why they're here.
I'm like a rambling idiot, but that's okay. So, anyways, see you in the next one.
Thank you for having me, Nora.
Thanks for coming on, Carol.
My pleasure.